Earlier this week, we spoke about the importance of positive reinforcement, using every opportunity as an educational moment and a positive educational moment. And that's how you bring out the best in every person. So I want to share with you today, I think, a fascinating story. How the Rebbe took a most unusual event and made it into a most positive, beautiful experience. But before I share the story, let's give a positive thank you to God. מזמור לסויד הוריד אדוני כל הארץ עבדס אדוני בשמחה. בואי לפניו בנונו דוק אדוני אלימו ועשנו ולא נחנה ומצא מריסוי. בואי ישור בסויד החצרוי שבסילה חידו לבחר שמוי. כי טוב אדוני לעולם חסדו וידור ודור אמון הסוי. And tzedakah, a positive act. One of the most powerful positive acts. So here is the story. I heard the story from a shliach in France, in Paris, Reb Chaim Elul, a brilliant, brilliant young man. Many of the Chabad books exist in French. It's thanks to him. He tells the following story. He was a 17-year-old young man in the late 60s, 1960s. Bal Tshuva himself, a whole group of young boys who became religious. And this whole group came to the Rebbe for the high holidays, for the whole month of Tishrei. In fact, I remember when they came, the Americans called them the Frenchies are here. So Chaim Elul was one of the young men amongst those Frenchies. They also had the opportunity to go have a yechidus, a private audience with the Rebbe. Rabbi Groner, responsible for taking care of the people going into yechidus, keeping order, etc., asked Chaim, he says, look, there's a young man, quote unquote, a Frenchie. We said it lovingly, in fact. He's going into the Rebbe tonight, yechidus. But he's unfortunately mentally challenged, mentally deranged. He has very unexpected reactions. And he has these, as we call in French, folie de grandeur. And he says, I'm afraid how he's going to react inside with the Rebbe. He can become very aggressive too. So he says, do me a favor. I'm going to keep the door slightly open so you can listen to the conversation. And if you're going to hear that something is not right, make me a sign. I don't understand French. You'll make me a sign and I'll go right in and make sure that everything is fine and safe. Sure. So Chaim says this is the conversation that he hears. This young man comes close to the Rebbe's table and says in French, Rebbe, I know that I am Moshiach. So I need you to tell me when and how I should reveal myself to the whole world. You can tell me. I trust you. Now, what would you react? What would you say to a person like this? Call 911 and take him to a hospital. The Rebbe looks at him in his loving, piercing look. And the Rebbe says, are you aware what Mashiach is supposed to do? He says, no, and I need you to tell me. So the Rebbe says, do you know that Mashiach is supposed to put on tefillin every day? No, I didn't know. So I need to start putting on tefillin every day? He says, sure, absolutely. Do you know that Mashiach is supposed to eat only kosher food? I thought so, but I wasn't sure. So you're telling me that this is what I need to do? He says, yes, that would be definitely a very important, appropriate step. And finally the Rebbe says, do you know that Mashiach is supposed to keep Shabbat? Observe the Shabbat. Oh yeah? Yeah. So the Rebbe says, you know what? Start with keeping Shabbat. Start with keeping kosher. Start with putting on tefillin. And when you'll be used to do that, you'll feel comfortable with it. Come back. We'll discuss further what Mashiach is supposed to do. So Chaim tells me, this guy was so excited. Says, Merci Rebbe. He ran out of the Rebbe's room and he met the other guys there. He says, you see, the Rebbe didn't tell me I'm not Mashiach. The Rebbe just told me what Mashiach is supposed to do. Today, a normal, wonderful, religious Jew with grandchildren, what the Rebbe did, took a weird situation, the most unusual situation, turned into a positive experience. Where today this man is waiting for Mashiach, and may we have him now.